Welcome to Coin Explorer. Have you ever looked at the loose change in your pocket and wondered if a single 10-cent piece could change your life forever? While most people spend these without a second thought, numismatic experts and elite collectors are on a constant hunt for a specific variety of the 2007 Roosevelt Dime. In the high-stakes world of rare coin auctions, certain error coins and pristine specimens have reached astronomical valuations, with some market projections for rare historical treasures hitting as high as $421,000. Today, we are diving deep into the mystery of this specific year and mint mark to see if you are holding a fortune in the palm of your hand. The year 2007 was a fascinating time for the United States Mint, specifically at the Denver facility, where billions of coins were struck for circulation. To the untrained eye, the 2007 Roosevelt Dime looks like any other silver-colored coin used for daily transactions. However, the true value of a coin is never found on its surface-level face value of 10 cents. Instead, it lies in the microscopic details, the luster of the strike, and the potential for rare minting errors that escape the facility. As we begin this journey, you must understand that the Denver Mint has a history of producing unique variations that collectors crave. Finding one of these in your change isn't just luck, it is about knowing exactly what to look for. Most people will pass over a fortune simply because they don't know the signs of a high-value strike. We are going to break down every single detail of this coin to ensure you never misplace a high-value asset again. The Roosevelt Dime has been a staple of American currency since 1946, honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his passing. The design, created by John R. Sinnock, features a profile of the president on the obverse and a torch flanked by olive and oak branches on the reverse. By the time 2007 arrived, the minting process had become highly digitized and efficient, which actually makes the rare mistakes even more valuable to the community. When a machine that is supposed to be perfect makes an error, that error becomes a piece of history. Collectors aren't just buying a piece of metal, they are buying a story of a moment when the system failed in a beautiful way. The 2007 Dime represents a bridge between modern technology and traditional numismatic value. Understanding the history of this design helps you appreciate why certain versions of this coin can command such high prices at auction houses around the globe. The D you see on the obverse of the 2007 Dime signifies that it was minted in Denver, Colorado. While the Philadelphia Mint also produced millions of these coins, the Denver strikes often have their own unique characteristics and common error patterns. In the world of high-value coin collecting, the mint mark is one of the first things an appraiser will look at. The Denver Mint has a reputation for certain die clashes and planchet issues that are specific to their machinery during that era. If you have a 2007 Dime without a mint mark, it's from Philadelphia, but the D mark opens up a different set of possibilities for rarity. Many of the most valuable modern dimes found in circulation today bear that small d, making it a primary target for cherry pickers. As we move further into this analysis, we will see how this specific mint mark plays a role in the coin's overall grade and market desirability. One of the most critical factors in determining if your 2007 Roosevelt Dime is worth more than its face value is the full torch or full bands designation. On the reverse side of the coin, there is a torch in the center, and it has horizontal bands at the top and bottom. In most circulated coins, these bands are worn down or were never fully struck by the die. However, if you find a 2007 where those bands are perfectly separated and clearly defined, you have found a full torch specimen. This designation is incredibly rare for business strike coins found in the wild. Collectors will pay a massive premium for a 2007 Dime with this level of detail because it indicates a perfect strike from a fresh set of dies. It is this level of perfection that separates a common 10-cent piece from a high-grade investment-level coin that could sit in a museum-quality collection. What truly drives the price of a modern coin into the thousands of dollars is the presence of a mint error. Errors are essentially accidents that happen during the manufacturing process. For the 2007 Dime, collectors look for things like off-center strikes, where the image isn't aligned properly, or broad strikes, where the coin is flatter and wider than usual because it wasn't held in the collar correctly. There are also die caps, indents, and wrong planchet errors that can occur. Imagine a dime being struck on a penny planchet or a foreign coin blank. These are the types of rarities that cause a bidding war at major auctions. Even a small error that requires a magnifying glass to see can increase the value of your 2007 dime by hundreds of %. Finding an error is like finding a needle in a haystack, but for those who know how to look, the rewards are potentially life-changing. To understand how a coin could ever be valued near the heights mentioned in our hook, you must understand the grading scale. Coins are graded on a scale of 1 to 70, with 70 being absolute perfection. A 2007 dime that has been sitting in a jar or a pocket will likely grade very low due to scratches and wear, but a coin that was tucked away in a mint set or found in an uncirculated roll might achieve a grade of MS67, MS68, or the elusive MS69. At these top-tier grades, the number of existing coins drops significantly and the price rises exponentially. A single point on the grading scale can be the difference between a $10 coin and a $1,000 coin. If a 2007 dime were ever found in a perfect MS70 condition with full torch details, it would be a landmark discovery in the numismatic world, setting a new standard for modern coin valuations. As the metal dies used to strike coins age, they begin to crack under the immense pressure of the machinery. These cracks leave raised lines of metal on the finished coin, known as die cracks. In the 2007 D series, look closely at Roosevelt's head or the lettering around the edges. If you see a raised line that shouldn't be there, you found a die crack. If a piece of the die actually breaks off, it creates a cud, which is a flat, raised blob of metal on the coin surface. While these might look like damage to a beginner, they are actually highly prized by error collectors. Each die crack is unique, acting like a fingerprint for that specific moment in the Denver Mid's production line. These variations add a layer of scarcity to the 2007 dime that keeps the market active and prices high for those who can identify them correctly. To truly appreciate the 2007 D, we have to look at how it compares to other years in the Roosevelt Dime series. Some years have very low mintage numbers, making them inherently rare. While 2007 had a healthy production rate, the quality of the strikes during this period is what collectors often debate. When compared to the dimes of the 1960s or 1970s, the 2007 D has a much more modern, crisp finish, but it is also more prone to bag marks from being tossed around in large transport bags. This makes finding a clean 2007 D much harder than finding a clean coin from a year where fewer were produced. This paradox, where a common year becomes rare in high grades, is exactly why the 2007 D is a sleeper coin. It is hiding in plain sight, waiting for a collector to recognize its potential before the rest of the market catches on. If you want to find a high-value 2007 dime, you need a strategy. You can't just glance at your coins. You need proper lighting and a magnifying glass, at least 10x. Start by looking at the luster. Does the coin still have that cartwheel effect when you rotate it under light? Next, check the edges and the rims for any abnormalities. Most importantly, don't clean your coins. Even if a 2007 D looks dirty, cleaning it with chemicals or cloth will create tiny scratches that ruin its numismatic value and grade. Professional collectors prefer a dirty, authentic coin over a cleaned one every single time. By searching through bank-wrapped rolls rather than just pocket change, you increase your chances of finding a coin that hasn't been touched by human hands since it left the Denver Mint in 2007. The market for rare coins is constantly evolving, with modern coins gaining more respect from serious investors every year. In the past, only gold and silver coins from the 1800s were considered valuable, but that is changing. A new generation of collectors is entering the space, focusing on the coins they grew up with, like the 2007 D Roosevelt Dime. As the supply of high-grade 2007 D dimes in circulation continues to dwindle due to wear and tear, the price for the remaining mint state examples is likely to climb. This is basic supply and demand. If you hold on to a high-quality specimen now, you're essentially holding an asset that gets rarer every day. The thrill of the hunt is what makes coin collecting one of the most popular hobbies in the world. Every time you receive change at a store, you are participating in a massive nationwide treasure hunt. Keep your eyes peeled, check your 2007 dimes carefully, and who knows, you might just be the next person to make headlines with a legendary numismatic discovery. Thanks for watching.